Hello my wolfpack and welcome back to another video on the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. So this one is a little bit different and it's probably going to be very disliked and a lot of people are going to be having issues with me. Mainly because I do seem to be in somewhat the minority, but I do want to kind of address a situation that's been going on. So obviously this whole download controversy, which has been covered quite avidly by YouTubers and basically everyone that's really following the series closely. If you don't know, it's basically that there is the possibility that we have to download Spyro 2 and 3 and that only Spyro 1 comes on disc. Well, only Spyro 1 comes on the disc as playable, but we don't know what we have to download yet, whether it's a patch or whether it's the full game. A lot of people are speculating that's the full game, and I have seen a lot of people cancelling their orders and like really having a go with Toys for Bob and Activision and being like, no, this is unacceptable. This is not allowed. This is not anything that we want. We want this, this, and this. And it's just like I'm sat here and I'm like, I really want to keep quiet on this, but it's been kind of grinding in my head for a week and a week or so now, and a lot of people cancelling their orders. Like, you don't want to cancel your orders. If you want to play the Spyro games, you can play the Spyro games. Fair enough. If you are cancelling your order because you're worried about having to download a large amount of data because you have a data cap, then yes, I can understand that. If you have slow internet, I can somewhat understand it, but I'm also a person that has slow internet. At my mum's, I get 2.5 megabytes per second. I'm not really too concerned. I am not bothered by having to wait maybe a day or two to download the extra stuff, um, just to kind of ensure that I can play the game. So I can less understand that. It's just more, I'm not calling you just kind of selfish or anything, but it's just you might have to be a bit more patient if you have slow internet, which I know a lot of people aren't patient nowadays, like, which I'm not trying to have a go, but it's really like grinding in my head. It's like, no, you guys need to stop cancelling your orders, because if you keep on cancelling your orders, the game is going to do badly on release. And if the game does badly on release, we are going to see Spyro die, which, if you've pre-ordered the game, you don't want to see that happen. Like, if you have pre-ordered the game, you love Spyro. You have loved Spyro. You want to see Spyro remade, and you don't want to see it die. Like, there has been rumors around for since, like, basically the game was announced that if this game does well, that they will be bringing out another Spyro game, particularly because Crash Insane did so well. They brought out they're planning on bringing out another Crash game, which I don't know when it's going to release, but I heard a rumor somewhere. I'm not sure how true this is, but they might be planning for a game for Spyro in 2020, 2021, a brand new game, which obviously, if this is a flop and lots of people are cancelling their orders, then it's gonna cause that not to happen, which I don't want to happen. I really want to see a new Spyro game. I love playing Spyro. It's one of my favourite games to play, and I would love to see a brand new Spyro game as well. And also, like, people talking about 10 years' time, I want to be able to play it on a different console or be able to play it from the discs. Well, if you look at things this way, I can understand your point of view, I can understand why you're concerned, but I'm also thinking that is in 10 years' time. If Spyro is still relatively big, or if it comes a couple of years and everyone's still going for Spyro, then realistically they will probably release a collector's edition or something that has the 3 discs, that has one game on each disc. Like, I'm confident that's going to happen if Spyro is still around. Obviously, if the game flops, they are very unlikely to do this because they're not going to want to invest money into something that people just aren't bothered with, people aren't interested in. And it just feels a little bit like people are being... people are expecting too much. People are expecting too much is what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't expect amazing graphics, the game to be true to the original, the game to have redone everything and look absolutely fantastic as they have made it done, and it not to be a huge game. Honestly, like, the amount of detail that's in there, I'm not surprised that it's so huge. So the data is so big. I just couldn't get out. It's so big, but I'm not surprised that it's so large. And people complaining that it needs to be smaller, but still expecting this kind of graphical capability are honestly, like, I don't understand it. You can't have both. You can't have really amazing graphics and really little data. It's just impossible to do that. It's just not possible. I could basically turn around and go like, oh, I want the Pokemon games to be 10 gigabytes less because, you know, it's using up space on my 3DS. Like, no, I don't want that to happen, like, because I know that that would cause the graphics to be a heck of a lot worse, or the gameplay to basically be non-existent because they wouldn't have had any kind of capability to put in a larger map. So I'm trying to say is please don't cancel your orders, or if you have cancelled your order, please do consider re-buying the order. Obviously, as I've said, if you have got a data cap and you're waiting out for to know how much data you do need to download, that is fair enough. I fully understand that. If you've got slow internet, as I said, I can somewhat understand it, but my plea is just be patient with it. Be patient with the download. Like, I'm probably going to be in a similar scenario. And I'm going to be trying to record and get the videos out as soon as possible, so it's kind of going to be a bit of a conundrum for me personally, although my dad's internet is a lot better than my mum's, so I will be fine, but I know in the case I have had to deal with slow internet in the past, so I, I'm trying to say just don't worry too much about it. You might have to wait a couple of days and just have it download, but that is kind of what I'm trying to say here is like, don't cancel your orders because you're hating Toys of War at Activision, because honestly that's just going to destroy Spyro. It's going to ruin the games. It's going to ruin any future that Spyro would have. I can understand that people are annoyed and upset, but also looking to the future, games are all going to be just downloadable. They are going to be getting so big that we can't have games on discs anymore because they won't fit on the discs. That is what's going to be happening. I mean, this is like one of the first instances of it ever happening, but in another couple of years, we're probably going to have a game that's even bigger. People are expecting bigger, better graphics, more content for the price that they pay. And honestly, it's just not possible to have all of that on a disc. It's moving towards we do need to start downloading our games. And also, companies are going to stop offering disc versions. They are going to stop offering discs because that's going to be an extra cost incurred for them, and they're trying to cut costs. Because if they're having to put in X more team members to sell the game or to create the game, then they need to cut costs elsewhere, or if they want to try and increase their profits. Not saying that they should, not saying they should take away disc versions, but if a disc is becoming redundant, which it will be in the next 5 to 10 years, because the games are just going to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger with graphical increases and the content increases. I honestly think that in 10 years' time, we're not going to see any discs on games. I doubt that even like the PS5 or Xbox, whatever, Xbox 740 no scope, whatever. I don't know what it would be called, but I honestly doubt. No, I honestly have a feeling that both of those are going to be released without a disc port because we are just not going to see discs anymore. Like, that is my personal opinion. And obviously, looking forward, we know we are going to end up moving to a very much digital. We are in a digital age. We're going to move to more digital downloads, and with internet capabilities increasing, you can now get up to a gigabyte per second, I believe. That was a recent find, and I believe they started installing it in York whilst I was still there. But you can now have super fast internet, so things can download like that can download in literally seconds, in minutes, for the most part. So what I'm trying to say is, don't worry too much about all this. It will hopefully be fine. Honestly, I'm not concerned about the Spyro issue or having to download it myself. And just please reevaluate if you have cancelled or you're considering cancelling, because I don't want to see Spyro die, and I don't think any of you want to see Spyro die. And we can't expect to have an amazing, super good looking game without having to have some kind of deficit in our space, in our download needed stuff. So that's kind of a plea from me, I suppose. Obviously, feel free to comment down below if you disagree. I will probably. Well, I'm holding my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion. As I've said, I can understand certain reasons, but other than that, I can't really see why. I think people are just being like somewhat entitled, and I know this is going to get a lot of dislikes because of that, but I think that people are being a little bit too entitled to have an amazing game without having to sacrifice any somewhat anything. Like, so yeah, that is kind of it for this video. I've been rambling for like 10 minutes, but I just kind of wanted to get this all out here. It's been grinding in my head for a while, and I think I hope that you have kind of got a refreshed view on things now. Like, I want Spyro to live, and I think this is my best way of saying we need to kind of come together and try and make this happen. So, yes, if you've enjoyed this, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Obviously, comment down below if you disagree or whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if this video is covered in dislikes because, you know, I'm the minority here. I'm definitely in the minority here, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but that's fine. You can disagree with me all you want. That is it. I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.